Hello there, it's Sean, and welcome to the remote closing course. You know, closing has given me a lot of wonderful and amazing things, and I figured this would be a great way for me to give back to the community by documenting all the frequently asked questions and concerns that closers have and document them into a practical and precise training that you can use to build your remote closing career. And before I get started, I want to quickly address the fundamentals. And I'm going to assume that you understand how this game works. You see, everything is online these days. A lot of the transactions are non-physical. They are digital. And I want you to think about this from an energetic perspective for a moment. You see, when you impact someone's life, whether in a professional or personal way, and there's an exchange of value, right? You have helped them solve a major problem, and because of that, they transfer you money. And I believe you're watching this right now because you want to build for yourself a consistent stream of income. And I don't want to sell you this idea that this is going to be easy. This is a get rich quick, a easy internet money thing, because that does not exist. Okay, think about this for yourself and be smart. Don't go for that kind of shortcuts, because in the long term, if you are not consistently bringing value to the market, bringing value to people and helping people, at the root of everything here, it's about giving people value. It's about helping people. If you don't do that, the energy is not going to come back. The energy comes to you in the form of some number into your bank account, right? And then your bank account grows. And all this while, it's a digital number. It's not even a physical thing. It's only when you go and withdraw money from the bank, then you hold the physical cash in your hands. But the paper itself is useless. It's what you can do long term to create that exchange and circulation of energy that's going to change your life. Okay? So in the physical world, how this works is you go to a company with a high ticket offer, a proven high ticket offer. You close them to let you close for them, and you bring in booked calls, appointments, meetings. Okay? And then you attend those meetings, you attend those sales calls, whether it's Zoom, online, on your phone, and you close them. You sell them your offer, your solution, your service. Okay? And then you earn a percentage of that sale. And because it's high ticket, even if it's a 10%, 20% commissions, that's still a lot of money, right? For a 3K offer, 5K offer, 10K offer, 30, 50K offer, etc. There's a 10, 20% cut on you earning because you have provided this service. Best case scenario, you get to 6, 7 figures. Worst case scenario, you cover all your bills. So this is a skill that can really do a lot of things for you as well if you take the time to build it, to invest in it, to train it. And think about this. Moving forward, is this skill going to become more and more relevant or less relevant? Because everything is online these days. You might plan to start your own business, or you might already have your own business, or you might want to use this to help other businesses grow. And regardless of which path you choose, companies need sales. All businesses need sales. And there are so many people out there, business owners, coaches, consultants, authors, entrepreneurs, that they need the sales, they want the sales, but they struggle to understand sales, or they struggle to solve these problems. So when you come in as a specialist and your understanding of this skill and your application of this skill is complete, and you're able to solve all these problems for them, for yourself, moving forward into the future when everything is online, how do you think this is going to impact your livelihood and your quality of life as your skill goes up? What do you think that does for your life and your career and your income? Think about it. Okay, so before I move on to the practical training and all that kind of thing, I need to share my story with you. Not because I want to talk about myself, but I want you to really understand where all of this is coming from. Because this is not coming from theory. This is not coming from someone else's program. These are things that I've personally done and lived through myself. All the ups and downs, the highs and lows, all the why and the mentality behind all this. I need you to understand the whole perspective so you know where this is coming from and what it means for you. Because when you look at the way I understand my challenges and how I overcome them, it will bring a lot of perspective for yourself and you will know how to navigate better. Okay? This is me as a child and a young adult. Growing up, I was always very skinny and weak and sickly. I was always falling sick. I always had to take medicine, see the doctor, and growing up was quite difficult for me. And because of that, I took to martial arts and fencing to build myself up, build my confidence, my communication skills, my health, my physique, everything. So for 10 years, I worked as a full-time Jeet Kune Do instructor, as well as a competitive fencer. And this 10 years was not easy because on average, I think I would earn somewhere around $25 to $50 an hour, and that's a lot of hard work. And there's a limit to how hard I can push my body, right? And the other challenge I faced was a lack of ability to communicate and express myself well because I didn't have the confidence. And I didn't have a girlfriend until I was 26 years old. This was my first girlfriend, and because I was single and lonely for so long, I couldn't communicate, I couldn't express myself well, I didn't have the confidence, I would stammer a lot when I talk. Right? So I want you to see how much value closing gave to me in the end, because closing is not just an online skill for me. It affected all these different regions and areas in my life. And by the way, this girlfriend, I treasured her a lot because I was single and lonely for so long. And at 26, in my 20s, I didn't have the maturity. I wasn't financially responsible, and I wasn't prepared to protect this relationship. I wasn't matured enough. And in the end, she left. In the end, I had to close my martial arts business down. I had to retire from fencing. My body was breaking down. My finances were breaking down. Everything was crumbling down. Simply because I did not have the understanding I have today. I didn't have the experience and maturity I had today. I just wasn't adulting. That was the root of all my problems. So I told myself that, okay, I need to get my act together. And I had a lot of injuries from 10 years of training, competing, and what can I do? So I turned to copywriting. It was one of the skills I know that I can learn, but I didn't get the hang of this. I tried dropshipping. I didn't get the hang of it as well. So eventually I had to turn to closing, and man, it was tough as hell. So I hope that by sharing this with you, I can help you to understand that I know what you're going through. I can understand the frustrations and the overwhelm and the uncertainty, because I was in the darkness myself. So whatever you're going through, I understand. And I want to let you know that no matter how tough it is, there's always a way out. If you're able to sit down and plan and get clarity and make a committed decision. Okay, here's what I did myself. At the lowest point of the darkness, when I was deep into the maze. I know it's not easy to read my handwriting, but what's happening here is the yellow circle here says the 2nd of April 2018 at 4:51 p.m. I sat down and I wrote my goals down. Okay, this April, May, June. Okay, and I told myself by the end of this year, in December, I will make my first 10K month in US dollars from closing. And I had this whole plan, right, to start with copywriting, use that money I earned from copywriting to pivot into closing, okay, and then build my own business. So despite all the ups and downs, if you have a clear plan on by which month, what is the milestone I want to hit, you have to be focused. And it doesn't matter if you don't know what is the how. And I know it sounds strange to say this, right? But you don't need to know the how. When I sat down on 2nd of April 2018 and I wrote this plan, I had no idea how to achieve any of the milestones. Right here it says, practice, do peer review, write spec work as a copywriter, build up my portfolio, earn $3,000 a month. I had no idea how to do it. But once you write the plan, you realize that things start to happen. Certain things, well, not everything, but certain things fall into place that give you more opportunities, more clues, more answers to further refine the plan. So the more you can break it down, the more you can refine, the more answers you get, right? It's like you're attracting more and more answers simply by your will, your determination, your ability to use your imagination, to visualize, to ask questions, right? It is an ongoing process. So from here, I worked my way to fulfill each of these milestones, some on time, some not on time, but eventually I managed to find a good team and apply my skills and close my first sale. $12,000, my first sale. And I'm gonna put the link of me closing that sale. Okay, I recorded the call. I'm gonna put the link in the description. So just scroll down and find the link and you can watch that video. That was my first sale. Okay, once I knew how to do it, I continued to push and set even more milestones. I learned how to become a sales leader in the sense of building a sales team, training people how to do what I do, right? Training them on their discipline, their mindset, their schedule, how to book calls. And eventually I built a team of more than 20 plus people for a consultant and got him past 6 figures. And that consultant was a consultant under Bob Proctor, if you know who he is. And that was the most enjoyable time of my life as a full-time closer. And along the way, I met my current wife. Okay, and you look at this whole journey from here all the way to here. This is personal development. This is your self-transformation. And I started at 29. At 32, I finally got my act together. I could finally hug my parents, this is my mother, this is my father, this is my wife, and tell them that I got it covered. Right? I can take care of the family now. I finally grown up, I finally adulted, and I can take care of the family now. So whatever you're going through, if you can sit down and be clear about your goals, be specific about your goals, even if you don't know how. Because I achieved my goal 1 month in advance and I didn't even realize I achieved it. I almost forgot about it. My influencer had to remind me that, hey, you've earned your first 10K, your first month as a sales director. Did you realize it? And I was like, no, I didn't. Okay, so why am I sharing this story with you? Because I want you to understand that there is a process. I went from earning $50 an hour, hustling my life and health away, to having a remote, bulletproof, high ticket, high income skill that I treasure a lot, that I've invested in, that I'm training and refining even till this day. There is a process to do this, and you don't have to go through generic diluted programs. You don't have to walk around in circles for months and years. Okay, focus, make a decision, plan, and adopt. The first thing you got to set up is your brand assets. Okay, your brand assets. What do I mean? First thing, I want to address what not to do. You'll see this a lot, okay? In fact, if you go to LinkedIn right now, okay, go to LinkedIn and you do a search. Okay, type high ticket closer. Okay, you see this is page 1, right? You go to page 100. Okay, or you go to page 93, whatever. You see there's 46,000 and it's growing by the day. Okay, the last time I checked it was 44,000. Now it's 46. Okay, so this is a growing legion of closers that have very similar photos, appearance, taglines. You know, they sound similar, they look similar. So how are you gonna stand out? What's gonna make you different? The first thing you gotta do is to stop doing what they do. It's not that what they're doing is wrong. It's just that if everyone is doing the same thing, you don't have an advantage. You don't have a brand. You don't have value, unique value to your brand. So stop posting generic content on your social media. When you apply to positions, when you want to work with a team, they will research you. They will check you out. And if they go to your profile and they see you posting generic things, right? Unglam photos of yourself with your friends. You're sharing your favorite band. You're sharing your personal videos. That has no value to businesses. That has no value to your brand. You enjoy it. It's important to you. It might be important to your private circle of friends. But it does not add any value to you as a closer. And then at the next level, you have people sharing other people's content. They share a quote from a guru. They share a quote from, some other expert. And it's not wrong. It's just that you are directing the traffic to that guru. You're directing the attention to that business. And how does that impact your value as a closer? How does that sell your value to other companies to say, hey, I can book calls and close deals for you? You understand what I'm saying? So stop doing all these things, and this will save you a lot of trouble. Okay, let the other closers continue to do that. You know why they do that? Because it's easy. They think that quantity and running around into all the groups, posting all the quotes, commenting on all the posts, they think that, by maximizing on the quantity, I can show my value, I can get attention. Okay, that is not a substitute for substance. Running around like an Energizer bunny does not compensate for a lack of substance. What we need to have on your content, on your social media, is clarity and understanding. What do I mean? Understanding refers to what you understand, what you internalize about the sales process, because that's your specialty, remote sales, right? Now, understanding is not enough, because how many people when you talk to them, they say, yes, I understand, right? But what about the big picture application? Can you actually use it and execute and adapt to solve different problems in different scenarios. That is what I mean by clarity. So you need both. Okay, so you need to optimize everything on your social media. Anything that can be optimized is an opportunity for you to present your value, to put your best foot forward. And at this point, you're going to ask for an example. You're going to say, hey, can I see some examples of what you mean? Okay, and I'm going to share with you those examples for a moment. And before that, I want you to have a look at these three are my top 3 influencers that I closed for. Okay, my first 3 years as a full-time closer. On average, I stayed with them for 1 year each, sometimes more. And I want you to really understand what's happening here, because they don't know me. They didn't know me in the beginning. What does that mean? They are what we call a cold lead. Right? Aren't they cold leads if they don't know who you are? So my question to you is, you can see they look pretty good, right? They are quite established. And at the time, if this was me sitting in my room thinking, how can I make this work as a career? My question to you is, why would they even reply? And I didn't try to be some established closer, because I was not. I didn't try to be some experienced closer, because I was not. So this person, Carl, okay, this person here is the one on the right, okay, Carl. His company was called Clients in Abundance, and you can see from the conversation here, I did not reach out. He reached out. And he wasn't prospecting me, right? You see, the first question he asked was, how long have you been a closer? He knows I'm a closer. And my question to you is, how does he know not to prospect me? How does he know that I'm a closer? And look at my reply. I didn't try to be something I was not, right? I just told him that I've been a closer for 2 months. So for a lot of you that always say, oh, Sean, you can do this because you're experienced, you can do this because this and that. This is what I said all the time when I was new. I was very upfront with them. I told them I was still in a program, I haven't graduated. And look at his reply, good stuff. Who says that? I said I've been a closer for 2 months, and he said good stuff. And he said we are looking to expand. I'm looking for good closers. Right, this next one on the right is Saba. Love the commitment. I'm choosing someone this week and you are my top choice. You're one of my top choices. Okay, my question to you is, if they're a cold lead, they have no idea who I am in the beginning, why do they respond favorably? Why do they take the conversation seriously? Why are they present? Right? And then you have some closers, they'll say, oh, the influencers are not adding me back. They are not replying me. Why do you think there's this contrast? Okay, my answer to you is influencer attraction. Influencer attraction. Influencer attraction happens when your brand is optimized. When your brand is showing the clarity and understanding, not the experience. Okay, I know that a lot of them will say that they want experience, and there's a reason they do that. You as a closer should understand there's always a deeper reason. There's always a real reason why they say certain things. And what they're really looking for is not the experience. How do I know? Because when I got into these teams and I saw the back end, I realized that when I was applying and competing for the position, there's usually like 15, 20, 30 other applicants, sometimes even more, who are vying for that one spot. And then I got the position, and I'm shocked because when I checked the emails and all those things, I saw that a lot of them have way more experience than me. They have made way more money than me before. So why did I get the position? It's because after I became a business owner myself, I realized that experience doesn't count if that person is not coachable, if that person cannot work, or doesn't want to work if the person does not have the right attitude or is not the right fit. So what's happening is a lot of them hire for attitude, and then the skills they can train you, right? The guidance they can give you, the coaching they can help you. So what they really want is your attitude, is your clarity, is your understanding, is your coachability, is your work ethic. If you have a business, do you want to hire someone with all the experience, all the portfolio, and then they're difficult to work with? Or would you hire someone that's like, yes, teach me, train me, I'm going to show up, I'm consistent, I take this seriously, my heart and soul is here? Who would you hire? You understand what I'm trying to say? So if your brand and your actions can show this, okay, you go to Instagram and you search for Maze Row Closer and you scroll all the way to the bottom. And you click on the very first post, right? You zoom in here, you'll see July 19, 2018. And you look at the consistency of my posts, okay? During this time, I had no experience. And the copy and the content is not even that good, right? I go to a cafe and then I take a photo of what I'm doing. I write a short caption, or I go outside, take a photo of myself, and I share my 2 cents on closing. So at this point, my content isn't even that good. So you do not have to be some 6-star content creator. You do not have to be some 6-star copywriter. I'm just documenting my process, what I learn, what I'm doing. And from here, the values show. From here, the understanding shows. And as you get progress, small wins, and certain results, go to your social media and document your process, document your wins, right? And you see, a lot of these things, I know what you're thinking. You're thinking, oh, I don't have the ability to create this kind of... You look at this. This is just a one-liner, right? This one is just a short copy with no photo, right? Just go follow this profile and then you can see this one is just a short poem with nothing. It's just a short poem. So, but then you can see, right, there's some kind of flavor, there's some kind of energy, there's some kind of value to my attitude, and right, you see, this is so short. So don't think that I need this to be this amazing copywriter or this amazing content creator. No. Of course, when you level up, you can do what I do and reinvest in your assets, right? And this is a simple one-page website that I've built for myself, to highlight my wins, highlight my abilities, highlight what I can do. But this was done quite late in my career, right? And if you don't have the ability to do this, a simple Google document works as well, right? Start small, okay? Document your process, okay? And put your best self, your best side forward. Because from here, when you apply to positions, when businesses check you out, right, or you message them, they are one click away from saying, hey, who is this person that added me, or who is this person that is contacting me, or who is this person who applied to join my team? And in one click, if they see that, oh, wow, this person seems a little bit green, but they have certain values, they have a certain attitude, they have a certain work ethic, right? What happens to your chance? What happens to your chances of getting in? Does it go up or does it go down? And you see, if there are 46,000 of high ticket closers, or calling themselves sales closers or whatever it is, and there's only one strategic closer, what does it say about your chances? And please, this is my brand. I'm showing this to you, so don't copy, right? There was once I showed this, and immediately the next day I see a strategy closer. Okay, don't do that, because it defeats the whole principle of being original and having your own value. Okay, go create your own thing. Go create your own flavor. Go create your own style. Because I have my story. You have your story. Okay, I want you to turn your story, your own value, into your own brand. And this doesn't just work for me. Right? Here's my student Andrew. He's able to find 7-figure, 8-figure teams on his own. They don't know him, but he's able to join them and make money. Right? This is Jack. Right? This Andrew is from Malaysia. This Jack, he's from Hong Kong. So they're like me, I'm in Singapore. We are not based in the States. We are not based in the UK. And these influencers are UK, US influencers. They don't know us, right? So how did we build the trust? How did we build the authority? And how did we go in and make money? It is all in your brand. Okay, so I hope this all makes sense right now. The next thing I want to talk about is what I call needle moving activities. Okay, needle moving activities. And before I talk about that, I want to quickly address this whole issue about should I start as a setter? Should I start as a closer? The answer is really simple. Think of your strategy and think of your game plan and think of your learning style and working style. Okay, let me explain. Now, the work that a setter does is completely different from what a closer does. Okay, what a setter does is they're working multiple 4-hour shifts. They're in someone's inbox all the time, typing, having conversations, chatting. And the end goal is to book appointments. That's why they're called appointment setters. And in those multiple 4-hour shifts, you are sending lead magnets. You are initiating conversations. You're responding to engagement on your influencer social media. It's a lot of repeated, repetitive labor. Okay, a lot of mechanical work. A closer, you are engaging in a consultative one-to-one call. There's a lot of soft skills. You're listening, analyzing, holding space, breaking beliefs, guiding them to make shifts, make decisions. It's a different game. Okay? I'm not saying which role is better than the other. I'm saying which one is a fit for you and which strategy makes sense for you. Now, I cannot teach you how to be a full-time setter because I've never done that. Okay, I've always positioned myself as a closer. I've always functioned and operated as a closer. And in my extra time, I use the extra time and money to upgrade my copywriting skills, to upgrade my appointment setting skills. Because when you are a closer, you are not taking calls all the time. You might take 3 calls a day. You might take 5-6 calls a day. Some days there are no calls. Sometimes you have 2 calls in the morning and then 1 call at night. So my point is, in between your schedule as a closer, there is a lot of empty time blocks that you can use to do all kinds of things, right? And the main thing I did outside of closing was to upgrade my skills. Appointment setting, copywriting, marketing, and things like that. But if you work as a full-time setter, I don't know if you have the time and energy outside of your multiple 4-hour shifts to actually build those things. A lot of closers I know, they listen to advice that say, oh, you want to do closing? Start as a setter to build your confidence. Start as a setter to build your discipline. And my question to you is, are they the same skill set? And my question to you is, do you have the time and energy outside of all that setting to do what you want to do? Because so many of them take their advice and then after that, I don't see them ever again. It became another job for them. You know what I'm saying? If it becomes another job for you and you don't have the time, I mean, it makes sense for you to start as a setter and graduate into a closer. I can understand that. But you think, does it make sense for the company to hire a setter, train the setter, and then let the setter leave into a closer position, and then now they have to hire and train a setter all over again. You know how much effort that is? Because I'm a business owner myself, I know. Now I know. Okay, but if your strategy is to sell yourself as a closer, to train as a closer, to operate as a closer, and then outside of your closing calls, you study setting, yes, you can improve. You study copywriting, or you do what you want to build. Okay, so I hope this answers the question, and then you think about what is your working style and what strategy and what is the end game. Okay, and which path makes sense for you. Now, I can't teach what I didn't do. Okay, that's how I did it. As for the needle moving activities, okay, I want to share what not to do. Okay, and please really have the discipline to tell yourself not to do this, to not allow yourself to do this. It will save you so much time. First thing, okay, do not go and role play with people as green as you are, because you don't know who is guiding who, and then they're gonna try and teach you, right? And they're gonna tell you, they're gonna try and coach you, but if they never closed before, they don't have proof or any experience of what they've done before, and they're trying to guide you and trying to coach you. You don't know what they're doing, right? You don't know who is guiding who, and that can result in a lot of bad habits. You might think you're preparing, but if you build all these bad habits and later on you get onto a real team and you take live calls and you realize that, oh my god, now I have to undo all these bad habits, you're wasting a lot of time. Don't allow yourself to get distracted. Don't allow yourself to get lazy. Don't allow yourself to procrastinate. In the short term, these might feel comfortable, these might feel easy, but I tell you, in the long term, okay, when the wake-up call hits, it's not going to be nice. Okay, these kind of things, a lot of us have to learn the hard way, okay, but I'll tell you now, it all comes back in the end. And one more thing, okay, don't compromise your personal and professional space. What do I mean? Okay, when I first started, I cleaned up my room, I optimized it. Okay, I lock my door, I block out all the sound. I make sure that when I'm on my computer, when I'm studying closing, when I'm taking calls, no one can distract my focus. No one can take my attention away. No one can intrude into my working space. Whether it's me needing to sleep, or me needing to rest, or me needing to take calls, or me needing to study, please protect your space. Because I know so many closers, they cannot protect their space. They don't know how to affirm their boundaries. They don't know how to say no. They don't know how to say, hey, this is me working. I know I'm at home, but I'm working, right? Give me my space. Give me my time. You must protect your boundaries, okay? And one more thing, your schedule. Okay, go to your Google Calendar, open it up, and plan your time. And follow that time. Discipline yourself to follow what you have set for yourself. If it's the time to study, go study. If it's the time to practice, go practice. If it's the time to take calls, take calls. If it's the time to rest, rest. If you want real freedom, if you want real success, that comes from your schedule. If 1 week you're on the ball and then 3 weeks, you're not doing what you need to do, this is a long game. This is a marathon. So if you don't have the consistency and your schedule is happening by chance, you cannot do this. Okay, so these are really the basics of closing. If you cannot secure this, if your fundamentals are not strong, how can you go all the way and build a 6-figure career? Make sense? Now, here are the things to focus on. I don't want you to waste time with diluted programs or, feel-good meetings, and then it's like campfire motivation, right? You're talking and then all the hot air, but then nothing gets done. Right? Now, those things, I know it's comforting. I know it's It's encouraging. It feels good, right? We are meeting people, we are talking. But at the end of the day, is your income changing? Are you advancing as a closer? That's what counts. And how does that come into play? Remember when I say your brand, okay, that is a priority. How you build your brand, okay, affects how you think about yourself as well. It affects your expression, it affects your self-understanding. In the beginning, you are your own audience. If you are not clear about your own value as a closer, if you're not clear about your understanding of yourself as a closer, how can you expect your influencer, how can you expect other business owners to understand your value? It starts with you. You are your first audience, and then your influencer is your second audience, right? So this is key. Okay, focus on this. Next thing, okay, book interviews. Okay, I'll teach you how to do this. Amount of calls booked, and obviously amount of deals closed. But how can you have this, right? It all comes from here. How can you have this? It all comes from here. And then when you're inside the team, it doesn't end there, right? You have to carry yourself as a sales leader, improve what you can improve, go the extra mile, solve what you can solve, optimize what you can optimize. So what's happening here is, while all the other closers are wasting time in diluted closer programs, chit-chatting with campfire motivation, right, procrastinating, you are building yourself up. And in the end, you're the one who wins. When you are the one that's solving major problems consistently, you're getting paid, right? Why you want to waste time here? Right? And this is a process that doesn't just work for me. This is Ko Lee. She was based in Hong Kong. And then she sat down and she wrote her goals out with me, plan to migrate to Australia, right? And she succeeded. And along the way, when she implemented what I'm telling you right now, just the basics itself, it's not even the setting skills or closing skills, just by getting her basics right, she's able to join teams, book calls, and close deals. And what people see in the end is, oh, you're making money. But do they see the fundamentals, the basic pillars that you invest in, what to do and what not to do? Right? And this Elaine is a stay-home mother of two. She needs to take care of the family. She needs to take care of her children. Her family doesn't understand what she do, but despite all of that, she's able to say, focus. She's able to say, let me practice. And her English isn't even that good. So if a stay-home mother of two with poor English can close in English and make 3,000 in a month, I believe this is enough to cover most of, if not all of the bills, and then have extra, right? It's 3K month, 3K months. So if she can do it, what's our excuse? Right? We have no excuse. The next thing I want to talk about is audience growth. Okay, audience growth. What do I mean by audience growth? First thing, on your profile, okay, stop adding closers. If you do that, you're telling the social media platforms algorithm to keep recommending closers to you. You're telling them to tell other closers to add you. Okay, stop doing that. I know when you join a program or whatever, you add all your friends and there's a lot of engagement and you're very happy, but that's not your audience. Like I said, your first audience is first and foremost yourself, right? You got to understand you got to practice. When you get your message gets you. And if you get your message, now the business owners can get you. And you should be connecting with them, okay? Go and find all the A and B grade business owners. Just block 30 minutes out a day and add them. Connect with them, engage with them, build relationships with them. 5 or 10 a day might not seem a lot to you, but I guarantee you, in 3 weeks, in 3 months, in half a year, your whole network is going to change. And once they know you, once they see you, once you have a relationship with them and they need help with their closing, who are they going to trust? Who are they going to remember? Who's going to stay top of mind? That's all your branding work that you have done to seed your own chances of success. Right? And please, I know a lot of closer programs are teaching, oh, just add, right? Just add them, just network, just add value. That does not work. Okay, do not do that. This kind of generic advice is going to get you into trouble, because what is the meaning of add value? What is the meaning of add value? Is this add value? Because that's what a lot of closers are doing. They say, oh, my program teach me, just add them and message them. What do you message them with? Just add them or send them a video. What do you send them? Do you know how many of these I get daily? The first message, they don't know me, I'm a cold lead. Immediately they pitch, do you have an opportunity for me? I want to join. Yeah, you want to join, but what's in it for me? What's in it for the business owners? So Sean, do you have a program that you're selling? And you look at this guy non-stop, hey. These are things that the programs are teaching, right? Follow up. Text them, add value. How is this following up? How is it add value? Are you telling me that if you close for me, this is how you're going to sell for me? Because that's what you're telling the business owners. The way that you pitch them tells them how you're going to sell. And if you have a business, do you want your closers to set and close like this? Right? These companies, the internet, other businesses do not owe you anything. So don't do this. You see, this guy says he's been closing for 13 years. If you really close for 13 years, this is how you close. So be mindful of your energy. What are you bringing to the table? Be careful of this kind of advice. I'll just add them network. Okay, what are you actually bringing to the table? Okay, think about this. When other people add you, because some of you have your own businesses, right? How do you want them to build a relationship with you? Do you want people to send you this? I believe you get your fair share of this all the time. The first message, they're already crying for help. The first message, they're already entitled. The first message, they're already taking. Okay, now, if this is not the way to do it, then what is the alternative? Okay, look at this. I send a cold message to a cold lead. This is an 8-figure influencer. I send a voice message. My question to you is, why did he even open a cold message? And why did he even reply? And why is he even interested to speak more next week? And does he mean it? And why does he bother updating me? He's so high level. I'm a nobody. Why must he tell me all these things? We don't even know each other. And in the end, he says, what's your number? I'll WhatsApp you. Okay, and the interview for this influencer is in the description below. Okay, I want you to go to the description, click on the link and watch how he grill me, how he tests me, so you can learn what actually happens. Okay, and this one you've already seen, right? So what's happening here is I'm not running around like an Energizer bunny into all the groups commenting like with generic quotes, generic questions. You can do that once in a while, but if every day you're doing that, okay, you are really exposing the lack of substance in you, right? So what you want to have, if you want quality, if you want a quality conversation, you want people to take your brand and the conversation seriously. You don't want them to disrespect you. You don't want them to ghost you. There must be substance. The substance comes from your clarity and understanding. Your clarity and understanding comes from your daily study. Once you have the quality, the quantity will come. Once you have the quantity will come. Okay, don't chase after the quantity. Quantity does not compensate for quality. Clear? Okay, the next thing I want to talk about is when you schedule interviews, because you are having the quality, you're having the quantity, you're talking to them, they are replying, and then they are willing to meet you on a call. That is an interview. Okay, how do you prepare for the interview? Okay, this happens all the time. The first thing they're gonna say is, so tell me a little bit about yourself. Okay, always gonna say this. Okay. What I'm gonna say right now might shock you. Okay. But think about this. They are not actually focused on the content. You know why? Because content is hot air. Any closer can talk a big game. Right? What they're really looking for is your action. What they're really looking for is how you say it. What they're really observing is the person. Right? What you are says so much that they can't really hear what you're saying. You know what I'm saying? So even if you stammer, even if you flub, even if you make mistakes here and there, if behind that they can see your substance, they can see your preparation, that's what counts. If they can see your clarity and understanding, that's what counts. So I'm not going to give you some script. I'm not going to give you some list of questions. Because behind all of that, if they check, and at the end of the day, you don't have the substance, then the hot air is useless. Because even after you join the team, the so-called interview continues. Every day in the team is an interview. Every day in the team is an audition. So at the end of the day, if you cannot book calls, you cannot close, then whatever you say, it doesn't count. Make sense? And the thing they like to ask a lot is, what experience do you have? And here, if you get shaken, if you get worried that you don't have the experience, then you lose, right? Remember what I did in the beginning. I was very upfront with how much experience I have. You don't have to try to be something you're not. You don't have to, go redirect them. You don't have to go you don't have to play games. Okay, be upfront about how much experience you have, and that's it. Okay, because from the way they engage with you, from the way you answer the question, they can see. They have been around for long enough to know. They have interviewed enough closers to know. So you don't have to play games with them, right? And really the main thing that you're afraid of, the main thing that makes you feel uncertain, uneasy or whatever, is this one. Okay, you're afraid that they're gonna throw out unexpected challenges, such as impromptu role play, such as what would you do if I said this, right? Or they're gonna test you hard or whatever. And this is the nature of the game. Okay, life is gonna test you. Your influencer is gonna test you. Your prospect is gonna test you. The only solution to this is not to memorize some script. The only solution to this is not to play games. The only solution is to actually be good at what you do, and that involves you failing, making mistakes. Okay, there's no shortcuts. You got to pay your dues. You got to start from the bottom. You got to go through the whole thing. Okay, it's okay to be demoralized. It's okay to fail. It's okay to make mistakes. The most important thing is you're able to learn from those experiences and improve yourself, and you get better and better and better. I've been destroyed so many times on interviews. That's how I learn. Okay, you got to go through all those things yourself. Okay, so there are gonna be traps here and there. Okay, you gotta be prepared. Okay, but the most important thing is your attitude. Okay, and you gotta be a go-giver. Okay, and remember, it's really who you are as a person. That's what it is. Okay, so in the description below, I'm going to put the links to the 3 different interviews that I've had. Okay, and I want you to study them and see what I've done to know that that's what's actually going to happen and how you can be prepared. Okay, the next thing I want to talk about is your first 14 days. What do I mean? So once you are in a team, okay, or even before you're in a team, the most important thing to understand is what is the criteria. Okay, what is the criteria? What do I mean? There are only 2 things that you need to watch out for when you're joining a team. Is number 1, do they have a proven high ticket offer? Okay, the keyword here is proven. Why do I say proven? Because if the influencer himself or herself, if the business itself cannot sell their high ticket offer, They haven't sold it before. They haven't sold it consistently. Okay, a good estimate is they gotta be doing at least 20, 30k months in revenue. That's a sure sign that their thing sells, right? The demand is there. People are already buying it. Their clients are getting results. They have client case studies. They have success testimonials. It's proof that it's already selling, and they are replacing themselves. They are replacing what already works. That's how you know when you join the team, there are things to do. You don't end up doing cold calling. You don't end up doing their VA work. You don't end up, doing their emails, washing their laundry, cleaning their dishes, right? You're not there to do these things. You are a sales specialist. So you got to really, really check. And a lot of times, even on the interview, okay, what they say might be one thing, right? They might say, yeah, we have this, we have that. And then a lot of things is really after you join, then you know that, oh, that's the reality, right? That's the truth of what's happening inside. So if you join and you realize that they are not prepared for a closer, if you join and then you realize that they are unethical, or there's no integrity, or they're not really coaching their clients, or their clients aren't really getting results, or their customers aren't really getting what the company promised, don't stay in the team. Because if you sell for them, so what if you make money, but in the end the company gets exposed and then your reputation goes down the drain because you're involved with them? Is it worth it? Okay, there's no smoke without fire. Okay, check the internet, check Reddit. If there are people coming out to say that, oh, this offer, there's something wrong with it, or the coach is not delivering, or they are not congruent, or they are teaching one thing but doing another thing, or their clients are unhappy, not getting results, okay, don't go close for them, because there is no way you can undo the damage from a broken reputation. And I've always said that your brand is the most important, right? So what happens if after 14 days you realize that they don't have this criteria? Please don't be afraid to leave. A lot of closers don't get what they want and they don't leave. You know why? Because they got attached to the team. They think they are an employee in the team. They think they are family with the team. But do you know that it doesn't matter what kind of contract or agreement you sign, if at the end of the day they decide to pause their funnel, they decide to go on vacation, they decide to do whatever they want, then you are just left hanging, right? You are disposable. So there's no need to be attached to any one team. Whatever team you're in, you still got to always protect and advance and believe in your own brand. So if you truly believe in your brand and your ability to solve problems as a sales specialist, you can always go elsewhere and make yourself better. But if you stay in the team, you're going to waste your time. You're going to be pulled down by them. You're going to get demoralized. You're going to be pulled in all different kinds of direction. But are you booking calls? Are you closing deals? Are you fulfilled with your closing career? If no, leave. Okay, and the main thing you really got to check is there anyone on the team that can guide me? Is there anyone on the team that can train me? Is there anyone on the team that can do what they are telling me to do? Right? Like, I have a team. I can book calls. I can close deals. I will not ask my setter or my closer to do what I cannot demonstrate first. And I will not hire them to solve a problem that was created by me that they can't solve. You know what I'm saying? So if the leader cannot set, cannot close, why? Is it because his offer can't sell? Is it because his fundamentals is not there? So if they are not ready for a closer, why are they hiring closer? And why did you even join? Right? So in 14 days, if it's not right, within the 14 days, leave. Go elsewhere and make yourself better. There is always enough. There's plenty of opportunity for you to book calls and close deals. The next thing I want to talk about is to prepare for burnout. And I don't want to paint you this picture that this is going to be easy and smooth sailing. No. You will get tested to your very limits. You will be demoralized, you will be challenged, you will go into the darkness for a period of time. And if the output that you're delivering is faster than your body and mind can recover, then it's very simple. You will experience burnout. Whatever you want to call it. Okay, there will be frustration, you're gonna fall sick, okay, you're gonna break down, you're gonna cry. Okay, it's part of life. Okay, so I'm not gonna lie to you and tell you that it won't happen. I'm telling you it will happen. And what you can do is to prepare. Because it's not about how hard you push. This is a marathon. Okay, there's no point pushing yourself for 3 months and then you never come back again, right? This is a long game. It's really the quality of your pace that I'm looking at. I don't care how hard you push. I care about how fast and how well you can recover. Does that make sense? It's about how fast you can recover, how effective you are at recovery. And what goes into that recovery? At the root of it all is you really got to sit down and ask yourself, what is closing to me? Define closing. If closing is just a tool for you to make money, and that's how a lot of closers really think about it. They don't think about it. To them, sales is just a way to make money. So when it gets tough, what happens? When it gets difficult, what happens? When they get tested, what happens? Their foundation actually cannot hold. They cannot come back from the burnout. Because money is an external form of gain. It's not internal. So if it's not internal, no amount of external feel is going to fill your soul. You will not have the internal motivation. Well, why do you think for the past few years I have always been consistent and I don't look tired, I don't look burnout, I enjoy what I do, I'm always showing up, always showing up, always consistent? It's not because I am disciplining myself, it's not because I'm forcing myself, it's because externally, yes, I'm enjoying all the external stuff, but the root of that external process is because internally this means something to me, right? Now you know why I shared my story with you in the beginning. Closing is my way of standing up for myself. Closing is my way of redeeming myself. Closing is my way of righting my wrongs. It has a lot of internal value to me. It's how I become who I am, how I communicate, how I express, how I coach, how I close. All these things bring me satisfaction, and it is a form of emotional need. When you are feeling your emotional need, what happens is there's a certain fire inside of you. There's a certain passion in you. Like the more you do this, the more energy you get. The more you do this, the more fulfillment you get. The more you do this, the happier you get. So it's not like after a closing call you feel tired, It's not like after a few text conversations you feel tired. No, it's the more you do it, the more you're like, wow, this excites me. Wow, this gives me intrinsic meaning. This makes me feel like I am fulfilling my mission in this world. This makes me feel like I'm on my spiritual path. I feel connected to what I do. So if you have that connection, why would you burn out? You can't wait to talk to another person. You can't wait to deliver impact. You can't wait to deliver value because you are the source of that value. You are a channel for that value. So this starts a virtuous cycle that never ends. The more you do it, the more you become. The more you do it, the more you have. The more you do it, the more energy you have. So if you're in that zone, you're in this flow, why would you burn out? Now you understand what I'm saying, that if you're chasing after the money, it is a very cold, it could be fun in the beginning, but after a while, it becomes empty, and then How are you going to fill your soul? That's my point. Once your soul is filled, you become unstoppable. Once your soul is filled, nothing can stop you. You just keep going, you learn, right? Obstacles do not face you. You might get demoralized, but you always bounce back stronger. Nothing can stop you. You know what I'm saying? So this is the solution to burnout. So you got to be prepared. Now I want to talk about consistently hitting KPIs. Consistently hitting KPIs. This is a really simple process. Okay, for you to get to 6 figures, that is 10K months for 12 months. For you to get one 10K month, that is $500 collected as commissions per working day for 20 days. Okay, so that's the target. It's a very direct path. And for you to get $500 a day is what I call 5-3-1. Okay, 5-3-1. What does that mean? That is speaking to 5 ideal clients each day, booking 3 calls, and closing 1 sale. Okay, if you are not that good, then 10-3-1. Right, talk to 10 people. Can you talk to 10 people a day? Now, the numbers can change, right? It could be 10-5-2. It could be 50-30-10. It doesn't matter. My point is, if you know what your goal is, you can always find what is the specific target, a very doable target that you can do daily, that you can sustain, that you can enjoy, that you can maintain a healthy pace. Does that make sense? So my number is 5-3-1. That's my sweet spot. That's a pace that I can sustain. That's a pace that I'm confident in. So if you find a number that aligns with you, okay, you can start with 5-3-1 or 10-3-1. Okay, just go straight to fulfilling these numbers. Go straight into the different parts that make these numbers happen. If you are in a good team, they know how to teach you. If you are in a good team, they know how to teach you. Because I know now you're thinking, well, Sean, I know the numbers, I know the reverse engineering thing, but how do I do it? If you are in a good team, okay, the top closer on the team, or the influencer himself or herself, if they have already done it, and they should, otherwise you should not join, they will have SOPs and trainings and guidance to help you. And they will want to help you because they want to make sales. Right? So model after a proven full-time closer. Okay, don't go and learn from the theory and the gurus and the things like that. They are too far away. They are too high level to actually come and guide you on what are the exact things that goes into your 5-3-1 or your 10-3-2 or whatever. Right? But if you have a proven full-time closer that you can shadow, like an apprentice or like an intern, right? Then now you can learn. Now you can go back and forth. Now you can get coached, right? And worst case scenario, even if you do 500 a week, that is still a 2-3K month, right? That can still cover all your bills. So don't waste time chasing after diluted advice and do all that thing. Don't waste time being a Energizer bunny and go into all the groups, post all the quotes, right? Ask all the conversation starter questions, comment on all the posts. Go straight to manifesting your 5-3-1. Go learn how to book calls. Find someone that's doing it, learn it, and go do it. Go push yourself and do it. Go close yourself to do it. If you can get calls, now you're on your way to closing. And if you can close, now the rest of it is just rinse and repeat. Rinse and repeat. Okay, remember the criteria. Get into a team that can already sell their high ticket offer. Close them to let you close for them. Make sure they are congruent, they have integrity, they know what they are doing, so you can have a long lasting career with them. Like each of my influencers, I stayed minimum 1 year with them on average. So make 5-10 quality human connections. You know how you connected with your influencers when they are cold? It's the same thing. Now you're gonna do the same thing, except that instead of connecting with cold influencers, now you're connecting with your ideal prospects. Isn't it the same thing? right? You're closing them to give you their attention. You're closing them to give you their decision. So from here, you're going to book calls. From here, you're going to close deals. Okay, and the target for a 6-figure career is 500. If you have a different goal, if you have a different numbers, just rearrange them, and you get the point. And now it is a doable career. Now this is something that you can actually sit in your own room or wherever you are and actually use your computer and your phone to get these things done. And you don't have to travel, you don't have to deal with difficult colleagues, you don't have to deal with office politics. You just go in, you do your thing, you book your call, you enroll the prospect, and then whatever you want to do with your money, whatever you want to do with your time, that is your own business. Okay, so 5, 3, 1. Texting. Okay, this one I do on WhatsApp. Okay, I just join a team and then I book call, and then I close one. Okay, and depending on how intense you want to go with this, right? Like I said, worst case scenario, you get 2, 3, 4K a month. Best case scenario, you really push yourself. Book calls, close deals. How much you want to make, that's up to how much effort you want to put in. It's how good you want to make yourself, right? Make mistakes, learn from them, get coached, repeat. Make mistakes, learn from them, get coached, improve. So you might say, oh, Sean, you can do it because you are lucky, you are gifted. I'm not. Okay, I was the guy that stammered when I talk. I was the guy that was not confident in expressing myself. I was the guy that couldn't get a girlfriend. I was the guy that was awkward socially. I was the guy that couldn't do anything. Okay, so bit by bit, I push myself. Okay, milestone after milestone, I push myself. And because I know I can close myself, I can close others who want to close themselves. Okay, this is a kind of spirit. This is a kind of mentality. So once I can do it, I can guide my students to know how to do it. This is Coley. She was based in Hong Kong. And then when she met me, she can join teams and close, but she just wasn't consistent. So we sat down and I said, what's the goal? She said that by the end of the year, she wants to migrate to Australia with her partner, get her own place, build her own business. And to do that, she needs to hit 40,000 in commissions. Now, we didn't fully achieve that goal. Okay, we only achieved like 22,000 together, and that was enough for her. Okay, today she is already successfully in Australia. She has completed her migration, she has her own place, she has her own thing going. Okay, and all that was because of closing. It's because she sat down, she wrote her goals down, she mapped out her milestones, she established her daily targets, and then she worked hard to achieve it. Same thing for Elaine. For Elaine, it was even more difficult. Okay, same thing with Coley. We sat down, we map out our goals and milestones. For her, it's even more difficult because no one in her family actually understands what she's trying to do. No one supports her, no one gets her. She has 2 children to take care of. She has to take care of her family. Okay, how does she take the time out to do this? I have no idea. How does she have the fortitude to do this on her own as a stay-home mother of 2 with broken English, to close in English, to text in English? I have no idea. All I know is if she can do it, then we have zero excuse. Okay, and what they went through, what I went through, is what you will go through. There will be a period of time, okay, that is gonna look difficult. There will be a period of time that you will be in the darkness, and that is okay. Because if you persevere, if you close yourself every step of the way, okay, there will be a learning curve, and the most important thing is you cannot go do this by yourself. You're going to waste a lot of time and energy, and if you get burnout, okay, it's very hard to come back from that. So if you find a good team, and on that team there's someone that can coach you, there's someone that can guide you, there's someone that can train you, because they have done this before as a full-time closer. So when you say things like, hey, can you show me an example of this, or can you teach me how to do this, they can actually show you what they have done and then guide you on the specific steps that you can take. instead of teaching you theory. Now theory anyone can teach, right? Module 1, set the agenda. Module 2, talk about consequences. Module 3, go and role play. Module 4, buy my upsell. Module 5, that kind of thing is like generic theory is very hard to go and apply in real life. You need leadership by example. So at the end of the day, if you can get there and you can book calls, you can close, you can step into your new identity, and you're confident in your own skills, you're confident in your own brand, you're confident in your own mindset, you become what I call a complete closer. And once you reach there, it's only upwards for you, because now you have a bulletproof skill that is going to be in demand for as long as people are going to use the internet to sell things. Right? So you'll never go broke again, you'll never go hungry again. And from there, how much you want to make is how good you want to make yourself. You can use this to close for others. You can go build your own business. You can do what Coley does. Coley did, went to another country, built her different life, right? That is all up to how well you can close yourself. Before you want to close others, you must first close yourself. So I hope this training, this course has given you all the answers that you need to start and build your remote closing career. Okay, if this training has helped you, okay, feel free to go to my Facebook group at seansena.live. That is SEANSENA.LIVE, seansena.live. Okay, and leave a review or a testimonial. Okay, and share this course with your friends, with fellow closers, okay, and pay it forward. Okay, if you have any comments, questions, or feedback, you can just reach out to me directly on social media and let me know, okay, and send your questions my way. And that's it from me, okay? Go set up your assets, okay, go get to work, and then I wish you all the best. I wish you all the success and joy and happiness from building your remote closing career, and I hope to meet you someday in person. I hope to hear your wins and your stories, and I wish you nothing but the best. Okay? Talk to you soon.